Alright, so the new Matrona is here, and she is an interesting character. She is, after Brynhilde, right? She is the first character to ever release that is made for the demonic beast battle, or the big bird, and she's good. I've actually just recorded the actual showcase part of this video. I'm making this as afterwards, and I can tell that she is good as her role. So she's a taunt. She is basically Green DN. If you're using Green DN to beat the bird, she's basically Green DN, but a bit better. And I say a bit better because I'm gonna be very honest, I just used her, and maybe because I was too focused on knowing what cards I'm gonna use next or something, I couldn't really tell if she made a difference. Maybe more and more use, I'll actually tell that she's really helping me. But as a first use, which sometimes doesn't really tell you all that much about a unit. Maybe you need to use a unit multiple times to really tell how good they are. But as a first use, other than her ultimate, I didn't feel like it was that much better than just using DN. Obviously, she's better though. And why do I say that? Well, she has the same blue card as DN, and this is why she's a direct replacement to DN. She has the same blue card as DN, and she's a giant, so you can use demons, you can use goddesses, you can use humans, and you're still gonna keep that Green Galfer passive. So she has the same blue card as DN, where for 3 turns she taunts, increases her defense rated stats by 80, 120, 200%. But her attack card is way better than DN's because her attack card actually removes buffs, which is very helpful for the bird, of course. And her ultimate is way better because her ultimate D-ranks cards, which can come in clutch, and for each D-rank card, it also lowers ultimate gauge, which also can come in clutch. Damage-wise, she hits a little less than the end, I believe. But not that it really matters. You're not using her for the ult damage, you're using her mostly for that D-rank, really. Damage-wise, she does the same multiplier as DN, actually, because you're probably not using DN with the Hauser. She does the same multiplier as DN, so not doing any extra damage or anything like that. But the passive. So the passive is, I think, the main thing. And I noticed from time to time, and I'm going to talk over it, but I noticed from time to time that it helped, question mark, I think. I think. Again, probably not. This is why I actually decided to make a post commentary, because I think when I was actually playing the game, I wasn't really focusing on how much I was like healing every turn. I was really focused on beating the freaking bird, so I didn't really notice the healing. But maybe as we rewatch the gameplay, maybe I can actually pick up on that more. For every 1% of the hero's diminished HP, increases all allies' regeneration by 2% at the start of the turn. By the way, I don't have the UR gear for her, but I'm actually, because of how this passive works of diminished HP, I'm thinking of giving her triple defense. Because for every 1% of diminished HP, so if she has less HP, when she takes damage, she's going to have more diminished percentage of HP. So maybe triple defense might be better, and she's going to heal more with Tarmiel. I don't know if the healing from Tarmiel kicks in first, or if her passive kicks in first. In any case, I don't know. I'll be giving her UR gear. And let's talk about more once we start actually watching the gameplay. Boom. So this is stage 1. I beat both stages with her. And this is stage 1. We're gonna be just talking over it. Can I... Maybe I should... Give me... I think... Maybe I should speed this up. Can I? Or shouldn't I? Give me a second. Alright, change it to 1.5 times speed. There should be a better viewing experience. I actually I've never used Windows Media Player. Okay. I actually never used Windows Media Player in my life. I've only used VLC, or the one that's default with Windows 10. So I played this just like I would play with DN. But the issue was, and this is something that actually costed me a few runs on stage 2, was I don't have UR gear for Matrona. And this is a concern I believe a lot of you are also going to have. Do I have to give Matrona you Matrona? Freaking there's no way. If one of you has UR gear for Matrona, one, I'll be impressed. Because there's no way, like, why would you ever, like, have made UR gear for Blue Matrona? Like, maybe if you did it yesterday because you knew Matrona was coming, like, the next day, fine. But, like, if you had UR gear for Blue Matrona, you're way too committed to liking that character, because Blue Matrona. So I played this like Green the end, but one thing that costed me was that she tanked worse than the end because she didn't have UR gear. So that is a major concern. If you are going to switch between the end to Matrona, you most definitely will need UR gear. And again, I'm like questioning, do I make HP defense or full defense giving her passive? And maybe it was Tarmiel's heal, but there were a lot of turns where all my characters had like low HP and she had max HP. So, because she heals so much because of Tarmiel. And she wasn't really helping the other characters with that recovery. But there were turns that everyone had a lower amount of HP. This is not actually on these runs. These runs I was actually playing so much that I didn't even like notice. But runs I actually lost, I noticed that I had very low HP with all my characters, right? Maybe after like an ultimate or something. And all my characters healed quite a bit because she's increasing their recovery. But none of the times I felt like it was actually significant. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, if I didn't get that healing, I would have lost. So, again, I might have to, like, use it more, like, farm the bird more, to really, like, say if she's, like, I mean, on paper, she's objectively better than the end. Like, the only reason the end was good at all was because the blue card. Like, the passive is not that good for Green DN, because it only really lasts that first turn, right? And after that first turn, not doing anything. Literally not doing anything. So, already she wins the passive, because the passive from Matrona actually works the whole way through. The blue card is the same. The attack card from Matrona is better, objectively better. Like, the attack card for the end is garbage. It's just literally damaged. So it's not good. And the ultimate from Matrona is better. The D rank is very useful. But how much better is it worth spending gems on this unit that you definitely don't have UR gear for? You're gonna have to buy new cosmetics. You're gonna have to upgrade the cosmetics. Because again, like, I don't have, like, my DN has UR gear, everything maxed out, you know, like, so of course she's gonna outperform Matrona tanking wise. My Matrona has no cosmetics maxed out, no UR gear. She's missing cosmetics. Like, it's like, her stats are not bad. Like, it's very comparable to the end, because the end stats aren't great, but it's still worse because of that, you know? So you gotta think of all that. I think that if you're willing to level 90 SA6, give UR gear, buy cosmetics, upgrade cosmetics, it's worth getting her. Like, in general, I think it is, because she is better. And I think that after I do give UR gear to her, she might actually be my ticket to beating stage 3. So that is something to consider, of course, but I'm not so sure. Okay, this is stage 2, so now I'm not actually gonna make it faster. I'm gonna actually comment over the game, because stage 1, it's not that, like, it's not like it's super easy, but it's not that hard either. Like, if you have Brynhild or Gringalfer, like, it becomes easy at a certain point. Unless you, like, you get very unlucky, then whoa, you can get infuriating. But okay, stage 2, I always with the N would do this, right? I would move the Liz card, attack, heal, and attack with Galfer. And one thing about the N's passive, I just said the N's passive is not that great, but the one thing the N's passive does that's really good is tank the first hit of the first phase 1 hit. I actually lost one time because he attacked twice, right? He single targeted twice, and he killed my Galfer, right? Something that would not happen if I had DN. Like, that hit almost kills him. If it hits again, he's dead. So, if he is going to attack twice in the first turn, like single target, you're gonna have to taunt. Or else you're gonna die. Like, your Gopher is gonna die. Unless your Gopher somehow tanks better than mine. Like, my Gopher has everything maxed out, bro. I don't know if I'm the issue. But yeah, because I don't get it. Like, I've been seeing people beat stage 3 with no taunt. And I'm like, bro, how does your Gopher survive? My Gopher gets clapped. And, like, my Gopher, he's maxed out in everything. maybe I'm not enough of a Sigma male for my Gopher to tank everything. But here, okay. This is one thing, right? She healed a lot. Like, I know she has the blue card in Tarmiel, so she would heal a lot anyways, but I think that recovery is really helping her when she has low HP, combined with having Tarmiel. And I think in general, like, she is better than, like, no questions, she is better than DN. It's just that one thing, like, I'm gonna give your gear to Matrona, like DN is an all-encompassing character. She's a main sin, right? She is one of the 7 deadly sins. There is going to be a festival DN. There's already like a good green DN DPS. There is already that, you know, green DN tank that we use for the bird. Like, there's so many DNs. Making you a UR gear for DN seems logical. Matrona has 1 unit. So, yeah, it's just very commitment. A very big commitment. But she is actually better. But I didn't even mention this. I am going to actually make a PvP showcase of this Matrona. But in any case, I don't think she is going to be all that great. Especially now with Gopher around so much. Because Gopher is going to seal you from being able to taunt. And just in general, it's not going to be all that great. Like, just like Green DN is just not that great for this meta either. I don't think she will be that great. But phase 2, of course, you gotta taunt or else you're gonna lose. So that's where DN is really helpful at. And so will be Matrona. And for phase 3, what I wanted, so I saw that I had this level 2 taunt right here, and I wanted to take the opportunity to actually use a level 3 taunt so that she can, like, just absolutely tank all the single target hits. So that's what I went for. My luck on this run was relatively decent. It wasn't, like, crazy, but I didn't really, like, get horrible luck. Because, you know when you have those runs where you just get ass blasted by the game, where you literally don't get good cards, like you don't get a single rank up the whole run? It wasn't one of those, right? But it wasn't that great either. So it was an average run. Having so many taunts was really good, because at the point where you get level 3 taunt, he really struggles to damage you, even when he does actually damage against buffs and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I kill him here. So of course phase 2 you gotta, like, sort of kill him twice. So I attack again with Matrona, but I remember, oh, I actually want to rank up Matrona for next turn. And I waste the taunt level 1, which would become a true, just to open space for new cards. So the thing is here, right? My Matrona is 4-6, not 6-6. And I found that her ult damage was not bad. Like, just not 6-6. At 1-6, it wouldn't be that much worse. Like, it would be like, what, 200% less? It wouldn't be that much worse. I'd be doing, like, maybe like 40-50k less damage than I was. Like, I was doing, like, between, like, 70 to 100k, depending on what phase I was actually ulting. It wasn't bad at all. But in general, I never used the ult, like, thinking, oh, this will be my money shot. Like, it was just like, okay, right now would be a good time for me to D-rank his cards, so he would do a little less damage to me, or to actually take off ultimate gauge. So she's great. Like, she's a great unit. It's just that one, like, thing that really waits. should I really give her UR gear? Is that one thing that really waits for the unit? And it will be rough. At this point, like, I hate when I don't have a cleanse, because I can't heal anymore, but I saw that I actually had so many Brynhilder cards, because I actually got lucky on that, that I could just one-shot phase 4. So I knew I just need 3 cards to kill him here. Boom, boom, boom. And then the other 2 Brynhild cards will kill. Brunhild. After I name a character once, it's really hard for me to change. It was really hard for me to change. Just stop calling Sigurd Sugma. It was really hard. And here I just kill. Like, I actually got very lucky to get those 2 singular power strikes. Because power strike is such a powerful card, it will hit the damage cap with a level 1. Like, I know for a fact those level 1s are gonna hit the damage cap. Or if not, close to it. Yeah, very close. 185, the damage cap is 212k, I think. Whatever this is. Yeah, 212k. So yeah, this is Matrona. She's literally DN 2.0. And if you feel like your runs are doing just fine with DN, then you don't have to bother. But if you feel like you could use the help, and you don't mind giving her your war gear, go for it. Next week we have a new banner though, so we'll see who that is.